Hello, it is time for our Windsor, Colorado real estate market update for January 2024. As we go into the new year, we first got to take a look back at the end of December 2023, look at the real data that we have for Windsor, Colorado real estate market in December of 2023, talk about what that really means for both buyers and sellers. So we're going to dive in, take a look at that. First of all, my name is Andy Hawbaker. You can always hit me up at my website, which is andyhawbaker.com, with any questions you have about Northern Colorado real estate market. I am a licensed real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Realty. Okay, let's dive in and look at what is going on here in Windsor, Colorado. There were 39 new listings in December of 2023. That's actually down 15% from the previous year. We expect it to be lower at the end of the year, but 15% below last year's. There were 37 closed sales for the month, which is down almost 12% from a year ago. So obviously there are less transactions happening. Honestly, there's less homes on the market. So obviously there's gonna be less closed sales. The average home was on the market for 68 days. That's actually down the number of days on market. So that's kind of an interesting fact right there. Our median sales price was $642,500, which is up 12.7. So everyone's talking about home prices coming down. Home prices actually went up 12% year over year. So that's kind of interesting too. On average, people paid 97.7% of the asking price, which is up. So again, another factor that prices are going up in Windsor. The average price per square foot, now this is kind of interesting, kind of goes against what I just said. $217 is down 1% from last year, but still holding pretty steady. So a lot of people thought that 2023 home prices were going to drop kind of across the market, across the whole country. And that really wasn't the case. In most cases, home prices stayed pretty level. Some areas they went up, as we saw here. Other places saw a drop. So it was kind of all over the board, but we didn't see that huge drop that everyone was expecting with the high interest rates. So that's really what has been driving the market over the last year is interest rates went up. The cost of the affordability of your monthly payment maybe went up by a few $100s. So it became very hard to afford to buy a home. And all these people who locked in interest rates in 2020, 2021 at 2% to 3%, 2.75 to 3%, those people don't want to sell and get into a new mortgage at a higher rate. So that's cut the supply off. But that demand is still out there. There's still people who want to buy homes. So that is why home prices aren't going to fall. Now, the big news really at the end of December of 2023, was that mortgage interest rates dropped. So rates got up to 8%, 8.1%, and in the last couple of weeks of December of 23, we saw interest rates hit all the way as low as 6.5, 6.6. So that drop has brought a lot of people back into the market, which I think is a view of what's going to happen in 2024. So now people can get, like I said, 6.5, 6.6%, still more than we expected, or more than you could have a year ago, and that's why we saw those numbers change year over year. However, if you want to buy a house, now could be a really good time to actually do that. So here's the thing. With that news in December, we saw that the Fed said not only did we see interest rates, mortgage interest rates drop by about 1.5 points, they've said that in 2024, they're going to drop the Fed rate by maybe 3 times, possibly up to 6 times, but probably 3 or 4 times. And that's going to mean maybe another whole percent off of interest rates. So people will, in 2024, will likely be getting home interest rates at 5%. Now that sounds great if you're a home buyer, you want to wait and watch those drops and get into the market when that gets lower. But here's my point of advice for you. Don't wait for that to happen. When more people see that interest rates are dropping, they're going to get in the market. There's going to be more demand. I already said supply was low. It's been pretty steady for a while. Now, every time the interest rate comes down, demand goes up. So all those people are in there. You're going to see higher prices. That's going to drive prices up. You're going to see people bidding over, waiving inspections, all the craziness that we had of 2021 and 2022 early. You really don't want to be in that position. I've helped people through that, and it's not a good spot to be in. The sweet spot is to purchase now when rates are reasonable, knowing that they're still going to drop another percent so you can refinance at that point. But you're going to get the house at a lower cost now and then be able to refinance that within the year probably, which is going to save you a lot more money than waiting for interest rates to be a percent lower and then paying 10% more for the house. So that's really the buyer's perspective. Hit me up at my website, which is andyhawbaker.com. I'd be happy to talk with you through that if you agree with me or not. And then if you're a home seller, kind of good news on this front is that the more those prices go up, the more you can sell your house for. And then, like I said, it's not a bad time to buy. So it could be a good time to move up to a bigger house. It could be a good time to downsize. But I think that 2024, starting in January, kind of leading up into spring, is going to be a good time to put your home on the market before there's too much craziness. And then I think 2024 is going to be a good year to sell your house, regardless of the timing. So if you have any questions, if you want to talk about any of that, again, like I said, my name is Andy Hawbaker. I'm with Coldwell Banker Realty, Northern Colorado. And you can always find me at my website, which is andyhawbaker.com.